Hello everyone, welcome or welcome back to Oculus Occulta. Today we're going to be doing a quick reading on the question, what do they find attractive about me? This reading is timeless, so whenever you find this video, you can use it to help guide you as you move along through any situation. There are 4 piles today, and I've listed the timestamps for them in the description for this video, as well as in a pinned comment in the comments section below. If you'd like to just jump into your reading, feel free to do so now. However, if you would like to stick around for the introductory spiel, then I have a few disclaimers to get through very quickly. First off, please keep in mind that this and all other tarot readings on this channel are for fun and entertainment purposes only and should not be misconstrued as advice of any kind. I cannot determine your destiny. I can only read energies, and group tarot readings such as this one will prompt general answers. Remember that the future is in your hands. You have the power to manifest what you want, and all decisions in your life should be made by you, not any one tarot reader, whether that be online or in person. Please also be on the lookout for scammers in the comments of this and all other spiritual channels here on YouTube as well as TikTok. I will never ask for your personal information, and I do not solicit readings. If someone asks to perform a reading for you under my name, they are a scam account and should be blocked and/or reported immediately. I will never message you first on any platform. Currently, I am not booking personal readings. However, donations are always welcome, and the information necessary to send any donations my way will be in the description box below. It should go without saying that donations are never mandatory, and they should only be given if you feel strongly called to do so. If you would like to find me on other social media platforms, all of those links will be in the description box of this video. If you are interested in any of the decks or other items I've used in this video, the Amazon affiliate links will be provided for you in the description box below as well. Amazon affiliate links provide a small commission to me on any and all purchases you make through the link I provide at no additional cost to you. It is one way to help support the channel if you feel called to do so. And now, without further ado, let us begin the reading. So for today's pick a card, I have 4 groups. This is group 1, group 2, group 3, and group 4. The stones for each of these groups. The first group is white howlite. And I'm not sure if you can see, I can't see the screen, so I don't know if it's focusing or not, but this is white howlite. Group 2, your stone is the blue adventurine. Group 3 is carnelian. And group 4 is green aventurine. Go ahead and think about the question, what do they find attractive about me? And think about your person. Take a few deep breaths and concentrate on the question and the person that you're thinking about. Let's begin. Hello, Group 1, and welcome to your reading. You chose the white howlite stone and the Ace of Cups. This reading, the question is, what do they find attractive about me? And so naturally this lends itself to being a romantic reading. Therefore, I'm going to assume that you're either in a relationship with the person you're asking about, or you are asking about somebody where you have romantic potential with. And you're wondering what it is about you that they find attractive. Right off the bat, this card, the Ace of Cups, is about love and emotions. It's an overpouring of those romantic feelings. So whoever this is, they have a lot of loving feelings for you, a lot of romantic feelings for you. This could be a crush. Even if you were with this person for a very long time, they still have a feeling of having a crush on you. There's a sense of newness about this card as well because it's an ace. So again, you could have been in a relationship with this person for many years and they still have that feeling of the honeymoon phase. They still feel like It's always a brand new day, brand new feelings of love and hope and joy when they're around you. Altogether, it's a very beautiful card to start off with. As I stare at the cup, I think about this person finds softness attractive. So this could be a male or a female, it doesn't matter. The person that you're asking about enjoys seeing vulnerability in their partner in the sense that they like to be the hero. So if you're having a bad day, for example, they like to be the one to come in, ask you, oh, what's wrong? And you are vulnerable and open with them and tell them, and they want to do what they can to make you feel better, to fix it for you. And that is something that they enjoy in the relationship. Now, again, whether you are in the relationship or not, this is what they find attractive in a partner. And if you provide that, that is one thing that they find attractive about you, is that they feel like they can come and sort of be your hero. They do enjoy that. So let me put that card here next to the howlite. We have the Ace of Swords, the Four of Wands, the King of Swords, the Seven of Pentacles. Oh wow, the Empress. Oh, and the Two of Cups. Sorry about the ash here. These are very beautiful cards. Okay. So the Ace of Swords here tells me that they feel comfortable speaking to you. They have an easy time talking and sharing their feelings, their thoughts, any sorts of emotions. They themselves might be a normally very logical person. This ash is kind of bothering me, so I'm trying to clean it up. So the person that you're asking about tends to be a little bit harsh in their personality. They're a little bit of a strong, silent type. But underneath that strong exterior, they're actually quite a softie, and they really enjoy romance and classical romantic things. So they might enjoy the idea of sweeping you off your feet, getting you gifts, being thoughtful and attentive to their partner. If you're the type of person that likes flowers, they would be the ones to ask, what type of flowers do you like? And then surprise you with it, either on a birthday or Valentine's or whatever. Similarly, their love language might also be acts of service, on top of also giving gifts. So they like to do things for you. They enjoy that ability to do that for you. Now, in terms of what they find attractive about you, there's a vulnerability about you, but also like an elegance and a classiness that they truly enjoy. And that comes from the Empress, who normally represents somebody incredibly beautiful, incredibly attractive. So it doesn't matter if you're a male or female, this is a beautiful person, very physically appealing. So this makes sense to me as to why they always get this fluttery sort of feeling when they think about you or look at you, or even if they were in a relationship with you for many years, it still feels fresh and new because you are so beautiful to them. They have that crush feeling when they look at you. The Four of Wands here it represents a Jewish wedding. So you could very well be married to this person, Or if not, there is that potential in the future. This is how they view you. They view you as marriage material. Now, when I say marriage, I don't necessarily only mean limited to the classic interpretation of a marriage, which is, you go down to the courthouse, you sign papers. You don't have to do that if that's not what you're into. A marriage could be a verbal contract between two people who decide, okay, we're together and we'll always be together, and we don't need to necessarily have the traditional wedding, marriage, and things like this, but we will be together. That's becoming a little bit more popular. And personally, just a little bit about me, that if I ever were to get married, that's how I would want to get married. But that's an aside. The idea, though, is the happiness that you bring them such that they want to stay committed to you. So this is a card of commitment and joy and just exuberance. There's a lot of flourishing when they think about you. This is them thinking about you. This is their side, a little bit colder. They're a little bit more externally logical, a little bit, maybe they don't necessarily do a lot of PDA, or they don't show how they feel even to you sometimes, but there is so much love and admiration for you. There's an ease that they feel with you. I think they don't feel this way with too many people. There's an ease and a comfort that they feel with you that they don't feel with just everybody. And I think this is what's fueling this feeling that you're very special. You're very special to them. The ease of speaking, there's no barriers, there's no disappointment when they come and talk to you. You seem to understand them on a level that's very deep, that caters to a side of them that they don't show to many people. As a relationship, I see this is a very strong, loving, equally balanced relationship. This card, even more than the Lovers, in my opinion, is such a good card for a relationship. And how they view you is that you are an intellectual equal. Your beauty, they might also be very beautiful themselves, and they feel like this beautiful partner, yes, I deserve this because I myself am also very beautiful. So they're very confident in that sense. They see you as the correct, right partner for them. This is also the idea of you are just their type. You are absolutely their type. In terms of physicality, which we're going to look at in a little bit more depth in a minute, the Empress here tells me that physically you are exactly what they're looking for. I can't get too raunchy here on YouTube, but if you're a female with this Empress card, they definitely have sexual attraction for you, and in such a way that they do consider, if they haven't already had children with you, they even consider getting you pregnant. This could be one of the things that they find attractive about you, is that you have such potential to be a great mother, that nurturing quality about you that they see that you give them. They're thinking, okay, this is somebody who I could see being just as nurturing with my children. If you're a male and you pull the Empress, again, the emphasis here is actually on your vulnerability and the physical beauty that you have. Now, the vulnerability is because when a feminine card comes up for a male, that male is very much in touch with his divine feminine. And being in touch with the divine feminine gives you a soft quality. And I know that for men, that's not something they necessarily want to hear, but it's actually incredibly attractive to many people. And it's a subtle attractiveness that people can't put into words, but they'll find you very friendly, very attractive, not just physically, but people want to be around you. And that's how this card plays out for a male when it's the Empress. The fertility aspect is also there. it's still there. So, but for a male. So even though this is a very quote unquote feminine card, it can represent virility. So a male's ability to be fertile and create children. So let's keep going and look a little bit more about what they find physically attractive. Sorry if the cards are not in frame. So I'm seeing here cards that have to do with luxury. This is the Queen of Wands, who is also very beautiful. She's considered incredibly attractive. So the physical attraction that you have is almost out of this world for this person. So you are their perfect ideal. Interestingly enough, they show up again as the King of Swords, but in reverse. The King of Swords in reverse is somewhat of a bully. Now, I'm not saying this person is bullying you, but what I'm saying is that they probably have a little bit of a temper, and this queen is kind of rolling her eyes and just listening to this. So one thing that they find attractive about you is you're not volatile. You don't respond to their, if they're acting up. And that patience and that calmness about you is what they find attractive, that you can handle them. You do a very good job of handling them when they're misbehaving or when they're just being ridiculous. And they know they have a tendency to be ridiculous at times, and they see that you handle that very well. And you do it with elegance and grace. So I was going to say, what's interesting about this Queen of Wands is that she looks very similar to the Empress. There's a lot of comfort and couch cushions here as in the Empress card. And so they find you to be a very luxurious person, a very high class type of person. Like, that is to say, if you were a brand, you would be a luxury brand, and that's how they view you. The other thing that they find you would find attractive about you is you're not a flirt with other people. Or if you are, you hide it well, because they feel confident that you're not doing anything behind their back. This card here is somebody who's going into some sort of bordello, and these ladies are waiting for him. But this is in reverse. So that tells me you must have done something that gave this person confidence that they can trust you in the relationship. You're not gonna sneak around behind their back. And again, if you did or didn't, that's none of my business. I'm not going to judge. But what I'm saying is their perception of you is that you are trustworthy, and this is something they find attractive. Now, again, whether that's true or not is between you and your conscience, right? So they don't know if you're doing something behind their back. It's just that the image that you are portraying is one of loyalty and trust, and so they enjoy that about you. Now, this card in this deck is not the same kind of imagery as you would have in the classic Rider-Waite tarot, which is, this is the Ace of Wands. And the Ace of Wands sometimes represents male masturbation. It doesn't have to be male, but it's very suggestive of male masturbation. Now, the reality of it is I could be very well reading for a male who's asking about a female, or a male asking about another male, a female asking about another female. This isn't just females asking about males. Long story short, the point that I'm trying to get at is you elicit feelings of intense sexual pleasure for this person. So they are likely thinking about you in intimate moments. And even though the imagery doesn't lend itself to that in this particular card, if you look at this cane, it's lovers who are essentially, well, again, I can't get too raunchy here on YouTube, but they are engaging in very intimate activities, let's say. So this tells me that the sexual attraction for you is pretty intense as well. Again, this is romance here. This to me is a very romantic card. This is the Nine of Wands. Again, it's not classic imagery. And here we see a little child is looking behind the gate. So this is a general reading. I have a lot of people in different kinds of situations watching this, right? So you could have children with this person. You could not. There could be potential. This to me, if this is somebody that you want to have children with, there is a possibility, and that spirit is waiting. So, and this could lend itself also to adoption, right? If you two have talked about that as well, that spirit is waiting. You are both very loving and affectionate. Now, generally speaking, because this person tends to show up in these cards as the King of Swords, perhaps it's not a public display of affection all the time, but here this is out in public. They are in a carriage and there is somebody looking at them. So it could very well be that this person can't help themselves. Normally they don't like PDA, but they can't help themselves in sneaking a kiss here and there while you two are out together. And again, if you haven't gotten together with this person, this is how they feel about you if you were to get together. In this card, which is reversed, this person is sleeping and the other person is quietly by the window here. In the reverse position, this tells me once again that there's a feeling of intimacy and a comfort, that they feel you are not pushy. You're not pushing them. You don't bother them in the sense of asking them too many questions or asking them questions they don't want to answer. There's no force here. There's no nagging, and they find that attractive. You're very gentle. You're very soft. You take a very light approach with them, which they truly appreciate, and not just appreciate, they find this attractive. They find it appealing. Let's get the last couple of cards to see what else we can see here. Again, there's an emphasis on luxury and communication. Normally this card, this is the Eight of Swords, has to do with feeling bound or feeling bound by thoughts. The way I'm reading this card, I know the imagery looks really dramatic and negative, but it's actually not, because the feeling I'm getting is, again, this person wants to be bound to you. This is something that they want commitment. This is something that they find attractive about you, is that potential for commitment, for a long-term relationship. And this here is about communication. So again, for them, being able to talk to somebody who's not going to nag them or irritate them or set off their temper, you don't do that. You seem to actually calm them down, and they don't get that with too many people. And so this to them is highly valuable, to the point that it becomes almost erotic, right? So it goes past just, oh, I like that about this person. It becomes like, I can't get enough of that. This is attractive to me. This makes this person beautiful in my eyes. The stability and abundance that I see in this card here, the King of Pentacles, you really stabilize them, and they want to do the same. So this person likes the equality. They want to have an equal partnership. So they also want to be stable for you, and their hope is that you feel the same way about them, and you would speak about them the way that they would speak about you, which is you bring comfort, you bring joy, You're absolutely stunningly gorgeous. You arouse them sexually. So this to me is somebody who loves your softness and gentleness and the way that you communicate, the way that you listen, your patience, these things that they have not found in other people. They find it exclusively in you, and they are taken aback. It has become, I don't want to say fetishized because that has a negative connotation, but it's eroticized. So they find this very, very sexy about you, very appealing, and to the point where they don't want to let that go. They want to keep it for themselves. They want to be bound to you. And perhaps, you know, it came to me suddenly, perhaps this is a little bit more obvious to you. This could also represent sexual bondage. So the sadomasochism, if you're into that or if they're into that, this is another thing that they find attractive. And if they find it attractive about you, it's probably something maybe that you suggested to them, and they really did like that. They enjoyed the idea of doing that. But again, I can't get into too much detail about that here on YouTube. We have to keep it somewhat PG, or close to PG. So I think that's it. That's all I have for you, pile one. I hope that answered your question and brought you some peace and joy. Overall, very positive, very sexy, nice reading. So yeah, let me know if that resonated with you. If not, maybe you can try another pile. Yeah, so I will see you in the next one. Thank you for joining me. Hello, pile two, and welcome to your reading. You chose the blue aventurine. Let's put that here. And the Ace of Pentacles. So the aces are a beginning. Now this reading, the question is, what did they find attractive about me? And so it lends itself naturally to a romantic relationship. This could be a relationship that you were in for a long time, or one that has potential. Maybe you just have a crush on somebody, or they've expressed that they have a crush on you, and you're just wondering what exactly it is about you that they're attracted to. So, you know, you have to take it how it resonates, but the pentacles have to do with physicality. So they represent the earth. So they also represent something that's physical. So the lilies, lilies happen to be one of my absolute favorite flowers. And so I find them very, very beautiful. So this person, what they find attractive about you is your physical beauty. And, you know, you could be a male or female, doesn't matter. I'm going to be speaking as neutrally as I can. Beauty in terms of, I know people use the word handsome, but the point here that I'm trying to make is that physically you are striking to this person. They find you just gorgeous. And that is right off the bat. So let's put that here and keep going. Okay, so Queen of Wands, 8 of Swords, 5 of Swords, 4 of Pentacles reversed, 6 of Pentacles reversed, and then 5 of Pentacles reversed. Oh, sorry about that. So again, I have to use the disclaimer over and over that when we see kings and queens, it doesn't necessarily represent a male or a female. But the Queen of Wands is known to be one of the most beautiful. So again, however you two are in the relationship, whether it's a long-term one that, you know, you've been married for years, or it's something that's developing now, the physical beauty that you have is very striking to this person. Now, the 8 of Swords usually represents bondage, especially mental bondage. In this context and in this reading, This card tells me that they think about you a lot. And I don't want to use the word obsessed because it has a negative connotation. And I'm not saying that this person is necessarily in that energy. Now, you know, I have to pull more cards. If I see the devil, then maybe they are obsessed with you. But they have a lot of thoughts about you. And perhaps their thoughts have to do with your physical beauty, because this is in the row of your physical attractiveness. Now, the Five of Swords, again, in this context, tells me that you have a sharp mind and you're probably kind of sassy. You don't take shit from anyone, and that is very attractive to this person. They find that you have a sharp tongue, so anything that they might say, you have like a quick-witted response to whatever it is that they're saying. And you can stand up for yourself. You're basically just, you take no shit. You're somebody who's incredibly sharp-minded, sharp-tongued. They find that very sexy, very attractive. They like that. They find it cute almost, you know, especially if you kind of like jab at them. They do enjoy that, you know, as long as you're not being cutting or mean, you know, and hitting below the belt, which I don't see that happening. They find your wit very attractive. Four of Pentacles reversed. You're not somebody who holds grudges. You don't hold on to things, negative sort of feelings. You let things go. And they really like that about you. You take a very light approach in terms of, let's say, arguments, or if they're misbehaving or doing something that annoys you, you don't hold on to that. You're not a very resentful person, and they like that. You're not petty in that way, and they enjoy that. Along the lines of not taking shit, they find you to be incredibly shrewd and prudent. And what does that mean? That means you know how not to be taken advantage of. Now, this person sees these qualities about you attractive. So I know sometimes you might think, well, okay, that's not exactly sexy. But to this person, being an individual who doesn't get taken advantage of, they find that very attractive, like in the sense of almost erotic, right? And I use the same sort of language in group one, because I don't want to just describe nice things about you. You want to know what this person finds sexy about you, and this is actually one of those things, is your mind, your ability to not tolerate stupidity from other people, not being taken advantage of. They respect that, and that respect goes hand in hand with finding that about you sexy, right? If they thought you were like sort of a weak-minded, mealy-mouthed sort of person who gets taken advantage of in all types of situations, like that's unattractive to them. That's not very, it's not very sexy. That's not the type of person they want to be around. It would be repulsive to them, right? So you're the opposite. You're exactly what they're looking for in terms of attitude, and they like your attitude. Going hand in hand with the Four of Pentacles is the Five of Pentacles. You don't hold a grudge, and you're not the type of person to give this person the silent treatment. Now, the silent treatment is almost a default for a lot of people. They've been raised that way. Maybe a parent did that to them, and so they've learned in relationships that that's how they're going to respond. It's a very common thing. And this person sees that you're not like that. Because if this card was like this, it would represent giving the silent treatment, leaving somebody out in the cold, ghosting. And they don't see that about you. That's in the reverse. So they see that you are capable of controlling your emotions in such a way that you're not being childish. Okay, and again, that matches the type of attitude and person that you are, the type of attitude that you have, the type of person you are. You're the type of person that gets shit done, doesn't take crap from anybody. And this makes you highly attractive to this person. And I'm noticing a lot of pentacles. So on top of being representing like physical attributes, the pentacles also represent somebody who's very practical. So the person that you're asking about themselves is very practical. That's why everything that they find attractive about you is in and of itself also practical things, right? Being able to negotiate with others without being taken advantage of, being able to communicate well, being able to let go of things when necessary, being sharp-witted and sharp-tongued. These are all things that are practical attributes that are now becoming eroticized, and this person is finding it sexy and attractive. And that is fueling the romantic emotions that they have towards you. Now let's look a little bit more about the physical that they find attractive about you. The imagery in these cards are different from the classic Rider-Waite, and so I'm interpreting them in a different way from the normal cards. This is the Eight of Cups in reverse. Now, in the image, you see this gentleman between two females, which could represent a lot of things in terms of when we're talking about romance and a romantic reading. It could be a third-party situation. It could be a willing sort of polyamorous situation as well. However, we're in the reversed here, which tells me that this person would choose you given other options. That's what it looks like to me, because here this gentleman is choosing both, but because it's reversed, they're focused almost solely on you. So they're highly attracted to you in a sense that you are their pick. You are the person that they're focused entirely on. And I think that sort of goes hand in hand with this card. Again, I didn't want to use the term obsessed, but they think about you a lot. And here they would choose you. So you are the focus for them. This is the King of Wands in reversed. Now, we had the Queen of Wands here. Whenever a king and queen comes in the same suit, these are people who are almost perfectly matched. Forget about one is reversed and one is upright. That's okay. This is a very solid match. So if you're wondering about the potential, this is your person, and they feel you are their person. And if this is a long-term relationship, despite any ups and downs that you may have had, the feeling here is that you guys are the perfect match. And that explains why this person chooses you, right? They feel like you're the only choice. Now, this person being reversed, perhaps they don't think they're always worthy of you. They don't feel like they're necessarily as beautiful, as smart, as desirable as you are. Maybe they think you don't feel the same way about them as they do for you. Nevertheless, they do feel you two are an almost perfect match. The thing that they find attractive about you is how you change their feelings of loneliness and isolation and give them that comfort in a practical sense. Your presence lets them know that they're actually quite loved and quite supported emotionally. And I say that because the Hermit here is reversed. You bring them out of isolation. When they're with you, they might normally feel like a lone wolf or somebody where people don't really understand them. They have to retreat. There's superficial relationships that they have with other people. But when they think about you, you take that feeling away from them. They no longer feel as if they're a lone wolf and nobody understands them. There is that one person who understands them. They're perfect match, and that's you. And they find that very attractive. Now, I'm reading these cards in no particular order. Like right below that and what I was explaining, you see the Lovers. This is the Lovers card in this deck. So the Lovers card is your quintessential card for people who are in romantic relationships. It's also representing Gemini, which are the twins. So if you think about the perfect match, this person genuinely feels you are their perfect match. Like I'm getting that feeling more and more as we go along in these cards. You are their soulmate. That's how they feel about you. They find you so attractive, not just physically, although that was probably one of the first things that they noticed about you when they saw you was, my gosh, this person is just gorgeous. And as they go along, they realize, wow, it's not just that he or she is beautiful. They touch my soul in a way that nobody else does. They bring me out of this cold. They bring me out of the cold. They bring me out of isolation. They're my perfect match. I almost don't feel good enough for them. But we are the Lovers. We are meant to be together. We are meant to be. I would not be surprised if you told me you two have a lot of fun together. And this is something that they find very attractive about you, is how much fun they can have with you. You guys probably laugh a lot, have a lot of inside jokes, go out a lot, spend time together, maybe in nature. Maybe you guys have pets together. In any event, this is such a joyous, like sweet card I'm seeing here. And again, it doesn't necessarily match the Rider-Waite imagery, so I'm not going to take that. I'm going to take the image as it is, that they have like this lighthearted, childish fun with you. And that is something that they find very attractive. It touches their heart and their soul. I can't get too raunchy here on YouTube. I can't talk too much about sex here. The Nine of Cups is somebody who has a wish fulfilled. And this, again, the imagery is different, but there's a layer of this feeling that you are their wish fulfillment. And there is such a sexiness about you that when they are able to have a moment to think about that, it gives them such a sense of satisfaction to be with you, to think, my gosh, I get to be with pile two. How lucky for me, how sexy is it to be with such a beautiful person? You really fulfill them in many different aspects, emotionally, mentally when they think about you, and sexually. I do see a lot of deep sensuality here, where the sex isn't just a matter of an action. It is a matter of deep feeling. And this person is very, very drawn to you, very satisfied. There's such a sense of satisfaction when they're with you and when they're able to enjoy you, if they're able to enjoy you sexually. And again, if you haven't gotten to that point in your relationship, when that does happen, if that does happen for you, and if you want that to happen, there's going to be such a sense of pure satisfaction, of joy. And I can't even express the depth of this, because this is not superficial. This is not just, what they call wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. This is a very deep sensuality where I can't describe it any way other than it touches this person's soul to be with you. That's how deep you are for them. It's like they almost want to consume you and become one person. So let me get the last couple of cards here. We have Wheel of Fortune, Justice in reverse, and Queen of Pentacles in reverse. The Wheel of Fortune here, I almost wonder if this person is very spiritual. They might see it as an act of fate, complete fate, luck that they met you. you two might have met in a very strange way, in a very serendipitous sort of way. They feel like they hit the jackpot when they think about your meeting. They feel lucky to have you. They feel lucky to be with you. Putting the cards together, Justice in reverse and the Queen of Pentacles, when these two cards are upright, they both individually and so much more together represent stability. But they're in reverse. And if you look at this Wheel of Fortune, this person is falling off of the wheel. So taking this together, this person gets butterflies when they think about you, when they think about the relationship. They feel imbalanced. They feel like they're not grounded. They can't get it together. They feel like they're tumbling or falling, that free fall feeling when you are on a roller coaster and it's going down. That's how they feel about you. That's, don't interpret this as, oh, why is it reversed? Do they feel a certain negative way? No, that's not what it's saying here. What it's saying is the feeling that you give them is so intense in terms of that butterfly feeling, almost like when they look at you, it's just, how did I get so lucky? How can this be? This person is so gorgeous. This person just, oh, I just want to tear into them. That's how they feel about you. And a lot of it is your physical beauty. I'm not going to deny that. It is the physical beauty, but it's also the feeling that you give them. You give them a very joyous feeling of like an almost soulmate sort of feeling. And this is something they find very attractive. The other comment I would make about the Queen of Pentacles is, in reverse like this, they find you exciting as well. They do not think that you're sort of a humdrum, boring type of person, which explains, why they really feel this sense of joy, like childlike joy when they hang out with you, when they spend time with you. And that quick-witted, quick response that you give to them, they like that. Altogether, it just shows me that it's never a dull moment with you, and they find that very, very sexy and attractive. And I believe that is all I see here today. Pile 2, I hope that resonated with you. Please let me know if it did, or if it didn't, maybe you want to try another pile. But if not, I hope this gave you some clarity and you found it insightful. If I don't see you in another pile, then hopefully I'll see you in another video. All right, take care. Bye-bye. Hello, Pile 3, and welcome to your reading. You chose the Carnelian and the Lover's card. So this card is the quintessential card of romance. And the question that we're asking today is, what do they find attractive about me? And that question really lends itself to romance. So this is a romantic reading. If you were drawn to this card, I think this tells me almost everything I need to know. The Lover's card, it does represent lovers. It does. But it has many other nuanced meanings. It also represents the sign of Gemini, which are twins. And much like the last pile, which maybe you might have even resonated with if you listened to that pile, this card is sometimes about twin flames or soulmates or people who are fated to be together. And so the feeling I have here when I look at this card is this person has these deep feelings for you in terms of, this is not just a little crush. It's not just a small love affair. This is a very deep love, and one that can possibly lead to commitment if you're not already in a commitment with this person. So this could be a relationship that you've had for a very long time, or one that hasn't seen potential just yet. It has the potential to blossom. So you're, wondering if this person has any romantic feelings for you, the answer would be yes in all of the contexts. So let's see what else we can see. Temperance reversed, the Knight of Cups reversed, Ace of Cups upright, Eight of Wands reversed, Page of Pentacles reversed, and the Knight of Cups reversed. In terms of what they find attractive about you, these cards tell me that you're somewhat of a quiet, reserved person. They find you to be somewhat mysterious, but incredibly sweet and gentle. There's a softness about you because there are so many cups here. It shows me that you're a very gentle, soft-spoken person, at least from what they understand you to be. Now, you may not see yourself that way, but this is how they view you. They see you as somebody who's not aggressive, and you're not going to make the first move. You're more passive. You're ready to receive rather than give in terms of, let's say, going on a date. You're not the one who's going to approach the other person. That person has to approach you. And they actually find this attractive because whoever they are, they probably enjoy being the one who pursues. And you are not a pursuer. You are not a chaser. You get chased. You get pursued. And they find that very attractive. If this person has spoken to you or has seen you speak to others, there is a depth to your speaking that they truly enjoy. They do not see the words that you use as superficial. They believe that you have a depth to you. To use the analogy of the cups represent water. And if you look at the ocean, there's the part that you can see, and then there's so much more beneath that you can't see until you get into the water. And even then, you still can't see everything. And so this is how they view you, as a very deep person, quiet. And there's a phrase, still waters run deep, which means the water might look very quiet, but it's actually deceptive because it runs way deep and you have to be careful. You can't just tread that water lightly. It might take you in. I can't get too raunchy here on YouTube and discuss sexuality too much, but there's an image of two angels here. One angel upright, one angel in reverse. To me, I'm interpreting this as somebody who sees you as very innocent on the outside, but they're hoping, if they don't know you too well, they're hoping that you're not as good, goody two-shoes as you might seem, right? So they're hoping that you're a little bit spicy sexually. If they have been in a relationship with you, this is how they see you. They say, oh, pile 3 looks really innocent, but let me tell you, he or she is very sensual, very sexy, a little bit wild, a little bit devilish. There is that underlying sexuality and sensuality about you that they are intuitively feeling and sensing. And so let's say this is your husband or wife. They know that about you. They know, my partner looks innocent on the outside, but when we get together, things are very different. Or if this is somebody who is starting out in the relationship, they have these feelings of, I think there's more to this person than meets the eye. I think they are more wild than they let on. And this is something that's very attractive to them, very sexy, very intriguing. What goes hand in hand with that theme here is the Nine of Cups in reverse. This card in this context, the way it's sitting, tells me that you're not the type to quote unquote give it up easy. And that could be referring to anything, but I am referring to sexuality. It could also be in the relationship. You don't give in too easy. You don't make it easy for people to access you and access those deeper waters. And this person does find that attractive. And again, that's because this person seems to want to be the chaser, right? And so if the pursuit is easy, then what was the point? And so this person that you're asking about appreciates the fact that you're kind of hard to get. So that essence of being hard to get, difficult even maybe to please, they like working towards getting you or pleasing you. And so they find that attractive, that they have to work for it a little bit. They like that. So let's go into a little bit more of what we see physically. This card here really sets the theme. These cards are not the same image as the Rider-Waite, so I'm not necessarily taking the same meanings as the Rider-Waite. However, this is the Strength card. The Strength card is a woman who is taming a lion. And a lot of interpretations are of the person is controlling their sexuality, controlling their feelings of lust and their bestial nature, let's say. This person is now doing something similar. So in the image, he's trying to move this statue, which is heavy, and he has to wrap rope around it. But to me, the story here is you are a very controlled person. You control your sexuality. You're not, I don't want to use certain terms because they have implications that I'm not trying to slut shame anybody or anything to that effect, because I don't judge that. What I'm saying is this person finds your demure nature very attractive. You might be a virgin, you might be virginal, you might put off that look or put off that essence or aura of somebody very innocent, but you are controlling the deep waters. And here it's a control of the sexuality, control of the beast within that they know that you have. And this person is trying to tame that, trying to pursue and bring that towards themselves. And they feel like they have to struggle with you to do that. And this is something they find extremely erotic, is extremely sexy about you. That you are so controlled. You are so put together. You are so able to give off a certain image, a certain essence about you that is not necessarily reflective of the inner being. He or she sees you as a tiger, as a lion, a wild beast who is completely tamed. There is, again, deep waters still on the surface, completely still, does not give away what is lurking beneath. And they find that very attractive. This image is, as you can see, a couple who are simply touching hands by the piano. This person, you just drive them wild with that sort of soft, quiet nature. I think that is the biggest theme I see here in what they find attractive to you. I think this is almost, I don't want to use the word fetish. I feel like people kind of take that as a negative connotation. This is highly erotic for this person, that you are so soft and so demure, and it drives them wild. They don't know what to do with themselves about this. You could have a very nonchalant attitude. Like you could take it or leave it in terms of this person. You might come off as a little bit aloof as well. There's no desperation when this person thinks of you. There's no, again, no sense of this person having to run away from you or being chased by you. You're very calm, very cool, very collected, and they find this incredibly, incredibly attractive. There could be a theme of bondage as well. Again, I can't go in too much depth because of YouTube, but they could either think about you in a sadomasochistic sort of way. They could be into bondage or think that you might be into bondage. This is something that they think about and might consider. That sort of turns them on to think about. But it seems like they can't necessarily approach you about it because you don't come off as somebody who talks about those kinds of things openly. And again, being tied into the idea of you not letting on to how you feel on the inside. They might even find the way you dress to be very demure and very sexy. So it's provocative for them, but it's not provocative for the rest of the world because you're not necessarily showing too much. But for them, when they look at you, their imagination runs wild. You're also not somebody who rushes. You're not in a hurry. You take your time. And that could also be in terms of sensuality. If you have had sexual relations with this person, they think about how the sex with you is slow and sensual and there's no rush. They might have to work a little bit harder for orgasm, either for themselves or for you. And I'm saying I can't talk about this on YouTube, but I'm talking about it anyway. They like that. They like that they have to take their time, that they have to work for it. That's really the theme here. In terms of physicality, I can't necessarily describe people's physical nature from the cards because in a general reading, you know, you could look however, right? But physically, they find your body, the shape of you, whether you're male or female, your body is ideal. This is a statue of a naked person. That is, when you think about like the Greek statues, those were ideal images. What was called the Platonic ideal, right? This was Plato's concept that there is the ideal man, the ideal woman, the idea of what it is to be a man or a woman, and then there are examples of those things. So this person sees you as the ideal man or woman, especially in your body. Your physical body is like a statue to them. It's like a work of art. That's how highly regarded you are in this person's view. And the emphasis really is on your body and shape. As the main theme here, I would say that they like that you're not for public consumption. You are a private, quiet, reserved person, demure, absolutely sensual on the inside. Nobody would know that on the outside necessarily, but this person loves that they can pick up on that. That's something they find extremely erotic about you, extremely sexy and sensual, is that your sexuality and your sensuality is hidden, is put behind layers. And they like that they have to work hard at breaking open those layers. So let's get our last couple of cards. The Nine of Cups in reverse, the Magician, and the Queen of Cups. This card is the same as this one. So it's just emphasizing that theme that you are difficult to crack open. But the Queen of Cups here is such a sweet, loving, gorgeous energy, gorgeous person. Just this sweetheart, this absolute gentle, innocent woman. And again, this could be man, woman, it doesn't matter. I'm describing the Queen herself. You see, again, the theme of the water, right? So she's the queen of these waters, and this is the ocean. She has such depth to her. This is what they find incredibly attractive about you. They love that you don't cater to just anybody. This is something that they admire. So I wonder if this person is a little bit more traditional, a little bit more conservative. They like the idea of somebody who has preserved themselves for their partner and is not particularly experienced. And again, this is male and female, right? There are women who are looking for men who have not had many partners. And I'm not saying that that's a negative thing or that's necessarily what you have or haven't done. My point is, I'm describing somebody who's looking for an ideal type of person, somebody that they find attractive. And there are people who find this kind of thing attractive, right? They want to talk about a partner, or they want to look for a partner who is less experienced than them, right? And a lot of times we think it's just men who are looking for women like that, but there are women who look for men like that, women who look for women like that, and men who look for men like that. So whoever this person is, they're a little bit more conservative, they're a little bit more traditional, and so they have that traditional viewpoint, and that's what is eroticized for them. Again, I don't want to use the term fetish. It is sexy to them to find an innocent person, a quiet person, a person who doesn't let on that they themselves are also very sexual. So that's what I would say is the main theme for what this person finds attractive about you. And I believe that is all I have for you, pile 3. I hope that resonated with you. Please let me know if it did or didn't. If it didn't, maybe try another pile. But if not, then hopefully I will see you in the next video. Please let me know what you think. Thank you so much. I hope this brought some clarity and some guidance, and hopefully a little bit of fun and joy for you as well. Okay, thank you so much for joining me here today. I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye. Hello, pile 4, and welcome to your reading. You chose the green aventurine stone and the King of Cups. So the question we're asking today is, what do they find attractive about me? And this question really lends itself to romantic relationships. And so this is a romantic reading. And this could be a relationship that you have been in for a long time or one that's just starting out. But the Cups cards are usually about emotions and relationships anyway. So we're off to a good start. The King of Cups, like the counterpart of the Queen, the Cups royal court are extremely gentle and sweet and just kind and emotionally mature. They are nurturing in terms of respecting other people's feelings. And so right off the bat, I see that the person that you're thinking about sees you as a master of these positive emotions, a nurturer, someone who is in control of their emotions. You're not overly dramatic. You're kind. you're loving, you're friendly, you're helpful. These are all extremely pleasant sorts of attributes that this person finds attractive about you. So let's delve in a little bit deeper. Sorry if it's out of view. I'm having a hard time keeping everything in frame. We have the Eight of Cups in reverse, Five of Cups in reverse, Seven of Cups, the King of Wands, King of Wands in reverse, Six of Wands in reverse, and the Star. With the King of Wands in reverse, the first thing that I'm getting is that you are not an arrogant person, even though you are physically very attractive to this person. You have a beauty that is conventional, right? So everybody would find you attractive. However, you have an underlying humbleness about you and about your looks that this person finds incredibly attractive. Because it's one thing to be beautiful, and it's a whole other thing to be beautiful and humble about it. And you have that. And this person sees that about you. And they find that unbelievably attractive. You're also not the type to hold your beauty against other people. You don't use it against other people. You are quite popular. And this could be maybe social media, you're like an influencer or something and you have like a lot of followers, but it hasn't changed your attitude in terms of being entitled or acting a certain way that is negative or arrogant. This person finds you to be extremely humble, extremely grounded, extremely sweet, just an all-around gorgeous person inside and out. And your beauty has not corrupted you in the same way that maybe some other people have had their beauty to corrupt them and make them feel like they're better than other people. You don't have that. You don't have this sense of you're better than others. And this is incredibly attractive to this person. They see that you're somebody who has a lot of options. Again, I see the theme here of you being very popular. And this could be, again, a social media thing. You could be maybe like an Instagram model. And I'm saying this as you could be male or female. There are male Instagram models as well. I'm not going to stereotype anybody here. Whoever you are, male or female, you are incredibly attractive to many people. So to me, that's like a conventional sort of attractiveness. You might even look like an actor or actress or some popular star. You yourself might be a star. You yourself are very, very seen, very desired, considered very beautiful, and you have a lot of options. And this is actually attractive to this person. Like that humbleness, the fact that you have a lot of people lusting after you, chasing after you, and maybe you yourself kind of, keep that at bay. You don't let that get to your head. This person is just crazy about that. They love that about you. There's also an optimism about you that is kind of hard to describe. If you look at these two cards, they're kind of sad looking, but they're both reversed. So that tells me you're the type of person that gets through adversities through a quiet optimism. It's not the sun where it's loud and optimistic. You sort of deal with your issues, whatever the problems are, or maybe it's a sadness, and you deal with it very quietly. And that takes a lot of courage and a lot of optimism in order to accomplish that. And you do it in a very quiet, graceful way. It's not a loud sort of optimism. And I'm not sure if I can necessarily describe adequately the sensation that these cards give me when I look at them. It's not a cold rationalism, and it's not a practicalism. It's more of somebody who sighs and then gets up and keeps going without complaining, without trying to put words to it, without necessarily saying anything about what is bothering them. They just move on. They just deal with the emotional consequences of whatever it is, and they move on. Now, what I'm describing, this type of person, this quiet resilience that you have, that is not boastful and it's not loud, it goes hand in hand with you being humble. This person finds that very attractive about you. They see that there's some depth to you. And we have somewhat of an abundance of cups and water. So similar to one of the last groups, I think it was group 3, there's a deep nature to you, a deepness to you that this person sees that really surpasses your beauty, your physical outside beauty, and your popularity. And see, this woman, she's naked here, and there's all of this water around her, and she's focused on the water. So to me, this is a sort of vulnerability that you keep to yourself, and you deal with your emotions quietly, and you deal with problems privately, and this person likes that. Despite the fact that you may be a public figure, despite the fact that you may have a lot of friends, you may have a lot of people around you, you may have a lot of people who are into you, a lot of people who are attracted to you and chasing you, you keep a lot of things to yourself. You are private and quiet and resilient. You have this mysterious sort of dreamy quality about you that this person senses and sees. This is like a dream, right? This is very dreamlike. They find this very, very sensual and erotic about you. There may be a sadness about you. Now, this might seem like an odd thing to say, but some people you look at and you instantly think they're a bright, airy, sort of loud person, and you are not that way. You are not coming off that way to this person. And the way that I can describe it, if you look at all of the blues here, there's like a melancholiness about you that it doesn't necessarily mean that you are a sad person or a sad looking individual. You could just give off a quiet air. You could wear dark makeup. You could wear dark clothing. You could have a certain quality about you that is very muted, right? The colors that you wear could be more dark, more blue, more green, gray. The air that you give off is just not loud. It's just not, it's not light and airy and loud like the sun. I can only compare it more to the moon, right? We're here at night. These are like nighttime cards, right? So it gives me that sense of just sort of like a dark, quiet, melancholy, and you bring out those feelings in this person, which they actually find attractive. They might be the type of person that doesn't like loud people, and they don't like overly optimistic, like loudly optimistic people. They find this very attractive. I almost want to use the word goth, right? So they might be attracted more to that dark and gloomy sort of look or type of person, type of personality. And whether you have that or not, this is how they view you and this is what they find attractive about you. So I would not be surprised if you came and told me, actually, I do have sort of a gothic look. That's sort of the vibe that I'm getting out here. Like that more dark masculine, dark feminine energy is what I'm gathering here. So let's look a little bit more about the physical attributes. So a lot of these cards, they don't match the Rider-Waite imagery, so I'm going to take the images as they come. This is the Page of Cups, who is looking at it in the Rider-Waite. He's looking at a cup that has a fish in it. And a lot of the times that card is considered a person who's very creative, artistic, and almost strange. I almost want to say a strange sort of person. Eccentric. Eccentric would be a better word. This card is in the reverse. So to me, that tells me that this person finds you to be all of those things, not weird, eccentric, unique, but it's muted because it's in reverse. So again, once again, you're not loud about your talents or your beauty or anything about you, the clothes that you wear. There's not a loudness about you. And that's something that they find very attractive. The Knight of Cups here, this card kind of tells me that you have a quiet discipline about you as well. I'm not necessarily going to get into why that is with this card. I don't think maybe you'd be too interested in hearing why that is, but suffice it to say, in the reverse position, this card really tells me that you have the ability to control your emotions, and that's something that they find attractive. Now, that also came with the King of Cups, who also knows how to control his emotions. Again, it just shows me you are able to control any sense of entitlement, arrogance, loudness, all of these things that maybe come with being a beautiful person or being a popular person or being a creative person. That loudness isn't there. That the eccentricity that you may exhibit is very controlled, very disciplined, and very muted. And they find this very attractive about you. This is the Death card. And in this deck, you can see this is a woman who's coming to a grave to leave a wreath. All this tells me, honestly, in this particular deck, is it just emphasizes the idea that you might have this dark masculine or dark feminine energy about you. It's very goth. This is a very goth card, right? This is, there's just that deep, quiet, dark, nighttime quality about you. Very dreamlike, very surreal, very, I would not be surprised if you told me Halloween is your favorite season or holiday. This is very, very much that type of person that they see you as. And again, you may completely disagree and say, I'm not like that, but this is the energy and the vibe that you're giving off to this person, and they like it. They really enjoy it. They find it sexy. They find it erotic. They find it very seductive about you. This is the Knight of Pentacles, who normally is seen as the slowest knight in the deck. Very contemplative. He's tossing coins into the fountain. And the way he's doing it with the look on his face, to me, is like somebody who's doing something frivolously. And it's in the reverse. So to me, they don't see you as a frivolous person with your time, energy, and maybe even money. I don't know what capacity this person knows you in, but whether this is a new relationship or a long-term relationship, there are qualities about you that are not just the physical beauty, but also your attitude and your way of existing, if that makes sense, is your way of carrying yourself, the way that you are, is very appealing to this person. They are attracted to who you are, and they find you to be very unique, very much a one-of-a-kind type of person. This is the Seven of Cups, and again, the imagery doesn't necessarily match that of the Rider-Waite. In the reverse, when I look at this card, I see somebody who feels like they don't have to wear a mask when they're with you. They feel like they can be themselves and they can open up. And it also gives me the sense that this person sees themselves very much like you. And so they feel like they've met a kindred spirit. They enjoy how you make them feel. And there's an otherworldly, ethereal quality about how you make them feel. It's not just lust or feelings of love or attractiveness. They feel like they're in a dream when they look at you. They feel like they're in a dream when they're with you. And this dreamlike state that they feel that they're in with you, they believe is because you two have a similarity that not a lot of other people share. Again, you're very unique. They might find themselves to be very unique, similar in style, similar in the way that they dress, in the way that they live their life. And they haven't met too many people who behave like them or act like them or look like them or think like them. And then they found you and they think, wow, this is absolutely what I'm looking for. This was what I was looking for. And that's how they feel when they look at you. And that's what attracts them to you, is they feel like a kindred spirit to you. The Five of Coins here is very different from the Rider-Waite imagery. In the reverse position, I wonder if they don't have access to you, if they maybe are a secret admirer, or if you two are in a relationship and you're wondering what they find attractive about you. This strikes me as somebody who is inaccessible. They like that you're not just free all the time, like you're doing your own thing, you have your own work that you're doing. Because this is the Pentacles, I'm a little bit more comfortable to talk about actual work that might generate money. It could also be that you're in school, or you're doing something with your life that doesn't revolve around this person or this relationship or any relationship. You have things that make you inaccessible to the public, make you inaccessible even to this person. So I know that might sound strange, like why would they be attracted to the fact that I don't have time for them? But things that people want are strange sometimes. They find it attractive that you're not just, you have all this free time, you're doing nothing, and you're gonna sit around and wait to hang out with them or anybody else. This is something that they actually enjoy. They like that about you. It could also be that, again, because this is Pentacles, I'm a little bit more comfortable to talk about the financial aspect of it. They might like that you have your own money. They might like that you have work that is generating money. They like that you are not financially dependent on anybody. They like that you're a hustler. You know, you hustle for work and or school, and they like that. They see you as somebody who is getting it together and building a foundation, and they find that attractive. Let's see the last couple of cards. Okay, the King of Wands here is also here as well. Once again, the theme here is, this card is similar to this one in the sense of you are independent. You're an independent person. You're a very unique person. You are your own person. They like this about you. They like that. This card in this deck is very unique. It is the only card where it looks like this is a person of color, right? And I'm not saying that you are or you're not a person of color. My point is, in this deck, this is the only person of color in the deck. So this is a very unique individual in this deck. So to me, that's what's striking about you. That's what's attractive, erotic, sensual, and sexy about you, is they see you as incredibly unique, as an individual who stands out among the crowd. And even though you're popular and well liked and everybody wants to be around you, you see this person is looking forward, not looking at these people. It's like they don't even care that they're surrounded by all these people. They're just focused on themselves. They're focused on their own accomplishments and their own life. And that's what they find very attractive. The King of Rods, like the Queen, represent conventional attractiveness. And once again, I think I did mention that here, that you are conventionally attractive. Your physical attractiveness it stands out here. And I hesitate to describe anybody, their physicality, because anybody could be watching this, right? So I'm not going to describe anybody in particular, but what I'm saying is, whoever you are conventionally attractive to this person, and probably to a lot of other people. Like, the cards are showing that this is very public. This is public opinion would agree with me here that you are an attractive person. Once again, the energy here is not of somebody who is loud, rushing, or abrasive in any sort of way. There's a gentle, quiet, calm sort of atmosphere around you, a dreamlike quality, and dreams don't necessarily move quickly, right? So this is a quick moving knight in reverse. So it sort of tells me that in line with the Knight of Pentacles, you are going at your own pace. You're not rushing, you're not too slow, you're going at your own pace, falling in line with the idea that you don't let popularity get to your head, you don't allow public opinion to sway you. You are who you are, you do what you do, and you're very individualistic. You're very focused on the self. And that is incredibly attractive to this person. They don't just find you beautiful, they find you ethereal. And at the same time, despite the dreamlike quality, these pentacles do ground you. You're grounded, you're humble, you're gentle. You're not arrogant and you're not loud, and they really enjoy that about you. And I think that's all I have for you, Pile 4. I hope that resonated. If it did, let me know. If it didn't, maybe try another pile, or maybe tell me why it didn't resonate. I'd be interested to hear it. Other than that, I hope this reading brought you some clarity, some fun maybe. If I don't see you in another reading here today, then hopefully I see you in another video. Yeah, and I hope you have a great day. Thank you so much for joining me here, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.